Perfect. Welcome everybody to another GPMS Europe and East contributors meeting. What are we on? 14th of January 2024, and another beautiful week. Actually, I've seen, just to start this off ever so quickly, I'd like to be again so much gratitude for those that are now assisting with the adding and the addition of taking the workload off others and assisting with helping add consents to the website. It's been awesome to see. And inside watching that and the growth, we've also seen an uptick in Serbia, Croatia, Romania, Montenegro, and different areas around the world now that are coming in. Germany, New Zealand. There's been differences where there's been quite a predominance of Philippines and India. Beautiful, thank you all. What we're seeing now is more coming in and more regularly, which prescribes absolutely beautifully to the divine affiliation, to the divine connections that is this time is very important for, where ones will rise and unite. So we're seeing this from different areas of the world, in different countries, from different people, and it's growing beautifully, as well as our own community, our own contributors joining together to unite, to grow more. So it's the whole thing is moving forwards, and it's wonderful to see. So I'm so pleased to see everybody here today, and I would like to open it up for comment and communication and collaboration. Probably first to Rick, so he can continue the theme or his theme, and then open floor as everybody can talk about what it is that they have witnessed and what they are doing. Thank you all so much. With that said, over to you, Rick, and let's see where we go.
Oh, thank you so much, brother. Yeah. And to continue on, I'm so happy as well, as you said, because we have considerable consents, if you will, on a backlog that are not inputted yet. So what we've recently seen was several step up from other countries to assist to get these numbers in. And let's say the number of consents on the website is always important, as we know, because it's a cumulative vote to go towards the majority. So the quicker it increases, also it has more of an effect on reality. So it's very good to see the numbers increase, as soon as possible, and it makes GPMS more seeable to many. And one thing as well, what I'm beginning to see, which is great, is that ones are understanding the simplicity of a majority vote worldwide, and how it can bring in the new reality and how it does. So this is substantial. So, they're beginning to get it, and I love this. So having said this, in the Philippines, as we have said before, and Lodi, Sister Lodi has a lot of names to be inputted there. Also, I believe in India, it's the same. We're seeing the numbers rise. India has just reached 17,000 and plus, which is great and significant. And Philippines, almost 31,000. So overall, we're looking at almost 80,000 GPMS members at this time. And again, it's very significant, even though if you look at 80,000 perhaps, and we're going towards the majority, what you also need to look at is the power of that 80,000, all of those combined choices for a new world, and also backed by absolute law. So, at this time, I love to say, as a universal nation, we are 80 times bigger than the smallest nation on the planet, which is the Vatican. So to say, 80,000 or 80 times bigger is a very great and powerful thing to say. So for any watching this for the first time, again, we are a universal nation. We have the law, we have the monetary system, we have the full strategy, the full direction, the full plan, the full end goal. And like Lee likes to say, we're all inclusive in every respect. So I'll stop there. Thank you.
No, perfect. And what just to add to that, what I've seen as well is growth from two networks, actually, two new networks reaching out from the UK that are interested in affiliations. They've seen GPMS when they didn't see us before, and now they would wish to get more information. This is new, relatively. We've had ones before, but they haven't been along the same lines, let's say. So there is a new energy coming in. There is a new urgency. There is a new necessity for something bigger, for something that's unlimited, as opposed to the limited natures to which ones are used to. So we're seeing this breaking up. We're seeing this opening up. And I had the pleasure yesterday of having a beautiful conversation with our sister Renata, opening all of this up. And I think that will be aired, let's call it aired, over the next couple of days, which can go out and maybe give people a bit more information as well. So having, again, on the back of that, I open this up to whoever wishes to add to the conversation. Don't be shy, just go, whoever wishes to.
Well, one's waiting. If no one has their hand up, I'd just like to say a couple more things, Lee. One's watching this, and everyone, they need to understand that this is giving the independence to every individual upon the planet, what GPMS does. And this independence is unprecedented and is very great. And one of the ways that it does this, it liberates every individual, also in every relationship and every family unit, if you will. And it tears down the old patriarchal system as well. And what it does, for example, in a family unit, it gives the same amount of money, if you will, to the feminine and the masculine. So no longer does the masculine need to be the sole provider for the family, mostly. And in cases where the feminine was the sole provider, this stress is eliminated because each individually now has their own. So they're not codependent, they're not dependent upon another. So they're fully liberated as well. And we take it, trickle it down a little further, and we go to the children with their own independence as well. And what this does, it takes the pressure again off of the family unit, but it also liberates the children to do with this unlimited funding and access to all resources to unlock their full ingenuity and creativity, and to be free to grow. So it's very important to know that GPMS gives the independence to everyone worldwide in an unprecedented way. Um, and with this, it puts each one into their independent control of their destiny, what they choose to be. But again, it's unprecedented. Everyone can do what they wish to do, and align with how they wish to contribute to the worldwide community with the essential goods and services. And so with GPMS comes that vast instant reduction in hours that ones need to work as well. So it's only a fraction of hours to sustain the essential goods and services worldwide, while also opening up the advancement of humanity very quickly as an advanced civilization, in the least, out of this barbaric, savage world that is here now. So it's freeing everyone. It's liberating everyone. Thank you.
On the information side of all of that, this freeing of everybody, the oppression of everybody is being shown malevolently through the systems. I'm predominantly referring to the UK at this point, but the macro, the representation is across the planet in the way that the parliamentary and the governmental structures and the corporate structures are lying and obfuscating truths and trying to defend themselves and throwing each other under the bus. The rats off a sinking ship. They are showing everybody that there is no control, there is no authority there. They are just selfish. And this is being seen. This is being seen. And what we're seeing as well in, for instance, the place, Philippines, very close to my heart with Sister Lodi here, and having been there, I'm witnessing the freedom groups there playing politics and telling the people what they're going to do as if they're politicians. This doesn't free anybody. It keeps them under the control of another dictator or another way of telling people what they can and can't do, as opposed to yourself being free to choose what you do and don't do. So these things are being shown very, very, very solidly, let's say, in areas where everybody can see them if they wish to look. And this would be the same in every country, as I'm sure our beautiful sister Beatrice here will explain in a minute with regards to Romania and what she's witnessing there, no doubt Canada too. So this is unfolding on the lower timeline it wants to see, and what GPMS is doing is increasing freedom. It's showing the unlimited nature and the all-inclusive nature that GPMS brings, prescribes divinely, as the direct opposite to that which will enslave. This is freedom. So would you like to continue that, Sister Beatrice, and carry on with what you were saying?
Thank you so much. Hello to everyone. What I would like to add regarding Romania, it is already on the streets because Germany started first. Germany started the movement of truckers, farmers to be on the street. The Romanians started to follow that, and they are blocked right now by the police to enter on the capital, on Bucharest, and their direction is practically towards the building of the government. And they would like to see freedom, and they would like to see this imposed rule against the farmers to go down. But at the same time, I received yesterday a message from a military that I know that he's practically moving slowly all the time towards the natural law. And this video contains very good information because the one inside started to speak about all the people, not only the farmers. And he said, unfortunately, if we have no the farmers, we are saying all the time, if we have no the farmers, we have no the food. But practically the farmers, they have their association, they have their way right now. Everybody follow the farmers, everybody wants to buy from the farmers, everyone is keeping their rights alive and everything. But practically it's almost nobody thinking to the poor, to the country that has not a farm, has not the money to buy a farm, and practically he has also no way to live there and not what to eat, and he's not represented. So the liberation movement has to be for everyone. This is very important. And when the people direct towards the government buildings, we can see right now the movement that this may become also international, that practically they are inside of the same circle when they still ask something from the government, or they are fighting the actual governments. So the people still were not able to see GPMS.world, and this is very extremely important because GPMS.world, it's not fighting, putting the people to fight with the actual government. It's slowly or quickly, could be also in weeks, a takeover of all governments at the same time or one by one. And it's very peaceful with no blood on the street. And The people do not need to participate in such long ways to travel from, from a side of a country to another one. So GPMS removes a lot of stress, and GPMS, it's universal natural law, is the law of one, and it's all about unity, organization, and everything. And when, for example, these people that they started with the farmer first, and he saw this Romania, intelligent Romania, he saw inside of the farmer movement, he saw the gain and the loss there, because by the end it's all about a profit. And give me the rights, then I will make food for you, then I will have myself a lot of profits at the same time, then practically you'll have what to eat, but I'll have in exchange my healthy financial situation. So with GPMS.org, everyone will be in a very healthy financial situation, not only the farmers. I'm not here to speak against the farmers. I'm here to speak for everyone, because at this time also we have a lot of people that they put the information for free on the internet regarding the agriculture inside of the towns, inside how to grow food in water and everything, just to do not be necessary to have large area and to have small area, and practically to have food for everyone, that everyone can produce and can become self-sufficient. So right now, from this example, this is exactly GPMS.org. So GPMS.org care about farmers, but GPMS.org care about all the people at the same time, and remove the gain loss, remove this business, this profit, this interest for the money, and remove to think towards the money, and start to think for yourself what you can do for yourself and for your community, and to grow. So it's just also removing the competition, and put all the accent on collaboration. Regarding Romania, because we need also to grow GPMS.org, I am on the Zoom room every evening, all this time that Romania people are during the protest time. And I am every evening at 19 Bucharest hour. This is 7 p.m. Bucharest hour. And also I would like, I have already 2 people that they may try to give the information of GPMS to the people that they gather on the street. I believe that this is a very good moment, because the people right now are not to the shopping, they are not with their family, they just are coming together for the liberty, for the true freedom. And this is a very important message that has to be given to them, to the street. Then they may come on the video and we can start to speak, and they can be in their house when they have time and everything. So I am also very flexible to the hour if necessary, if a group wants to come to speak with me. So it's just to start to bring Romania up, and to start to direct the people towards no border, because the border means control, and also towards the true freedom, because the only freedom that exists for the what we call human race, it's only the law of one, it's only universal natural law. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. And one thing for once to conjecture, one thing for once to think about is in approaching a government, in approaching the buildings en masse, the government's answers are going to either be to step down, which no, they don't do that, or to enforce the law against the dissent, which puts military or police against the people. Okay, that's inevitable if this is going to continue like this. If you're going to poke the ones, they're going to fight back a little bit, as we've seen in all around the world, with different ones that they don't like. They tend to drop stuff on them or into them. But the concept here is that it's not about not doing these things. It's about understanding that direct military actions from these governments to protect themselves is very, very likely. GPMS doesn't require any of that. GPMS doesn't require the governments to be stormed or to be told. GPMS requires the people to come together, unite, and simply say no more to the governments. And by that time, the military won't be backing the governments, because the military are the people generally. Those that aren't, well, they can stay with the governments, but they will have no more authority or power once the people choose for them not to have. Going to them and telling them and asking them or trying to change things, yeah, good luck. This is why GPMS is here. This is one of the benefits and the beauties of the way GPMS will work. Is it is peaceful, absolutely peaceful, and it can be exactly the same without any chaos. But if the people continue to try to, or if one's tried to change the system from within, it will defend itself. And we are getting very close to that point, that time. Romania, different places around the world. There's likely to be some sort of kickback against the people who are simply asking for their rights, simply asking for their freedom. And in this situation, this is where one must be informed and aware that GPMS is here. GPMS isn't requiring all of that. GPMS just requires unity and then simplicity. All the complication that they're bringing in is prolonging the inevitable. So absolutely, thank you so much, sister, with the update from Romania. And please, anybody, speak to Beatrice. Wonderful. I did see 2 hands up, but at the moment I can just see yours, brother. Do you want to continue? Over to you, Rick.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, Beatrice. That was very exactly right on point and very impressive. What I wish to do, what Lee touched on here, which is so important with the military, if you will, and the governments perhaps attempting to take action against the people with the police and the military. Well, what we say with GPMS, the lower ranks of the police and militaries worldwide need to be informed of GPMS. And what this does by these military with souls and police with souls, when they see GPMS, then what they know, it's their full liberty for them. And it's the full security, not only for them, for their families. So it becomes the wisest choice of all of them in the military and the police to choose GPMS, the peaceful solution, for it offers them what governments cannot offer them. And when we really look at military and police worldwide, the real employers are the people. It's not the governments. So when it comes down to the crunch, if you will, the military, by moral obligation, as well as the police, must support the people and not support any government orders that is inflicting harm upon the civilians and the people, if you will. So, and with this, what GPMS is doing is assimilating the old reality into the worldwide peaceful state, if you will. And with this, nothing can oppose nor contest what GPMS is, for the simple reason it does no harm. It's all inclusive to uplift humanity. So, with this, with the different protests and directions of orientation towards one's looking for their freedom at different degrees, it all converges towards GPMS as being the ultimate solution. But what's so beautiful is that GPMS is here now. The solution is right here. So it becomes a simple choice. And as we say for anyone, and worldwide, they know how a vote works. And once you have the majority vote, it means the majority wins. And in this case, with GPMS worldwide, it is the new abundant and free reality. And just with closing on this is the divine plan. It's backed by off-world and prime creator. So meaning that it does happen, and to the degree depends on many of the variables with individuals. And again, we'll go to the moral obligation and responsibility of any prominent influencers worldwide to give this to their peoples, to their followings. It's so important. So I'll stop there. Thank you.
Brother Pritam, continue, my friend. Continue the theme. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Brother Lee, and all my beautiful souls on this call tonight, and for giving me the privilege to be on this call. I was expecting many of my associates in this call, however, they might have a tight schedule. So, during this short span of time, we have been noticing a very parabolic, or what we can say as an exponential growth in our India team, as being said in our last meeting also, that more than 2,000 consent signings, non-consent signings will be joining into our family, GPMS. So I want to extend much gratitude and so much sincere help and heart dedication from my sister Kiran Bala and the team, from my sister Omita is also here. So they have, besides the hurdles and so many circumstances over there in the Manipur also, due to the communal clash that happened on the May 3rd. So they have a hope and a vision that GPMS will bring or restore the peace and normalcy and bring the abundance of this. The curiosity mindset, they have only been established in a program because of the message of the GPMS, and they had passed to the several relatives nearby uh, people, or what can say, the neighbors or the inmates of the our relief camp centers. So they have done a very marvelous job for all of us, and we will keep doing it. And we are expecting very soon we'll be crossing 18,000 maybe in a day or two. I'm expecting probably by Wednesday coming, so we'll be crossing 18K. That is the benchmark we are keeping. So there we are setting up a goal, like we should reach this goal so that as soon as we have the massive expansion or the uniting of the different souls to our GPMS family, the sooner we have more conscience, the sooner the message will be spread out to the unreached places. Also, that is the expectation we are keeping. We are uniting as beautiful souls. So my message to the world is, like, we have been struggled and have been put into the miseries and the slavery system for so long. So this is too much, and they need to step down. And we have the mass awakening process that is still going on, and the light will surely conquer the dark. That is very, very sure. And what I'm expecting and seeing, and through my research programs and receiving a message from the intel source, what will be the situation when we have the collective consent signings that is coming in, and some other elites over there, they have already tried to control the planetary access, specifically goal, and want to establish a different another banking system. So we need to gear up for that also. This is not a negativity. However, we need to see that perspective mindset also, so as to push forward for the human civilization, as well as the including the aquatic life and flora and fauna specifically. So GPMS doesn't work only for the entire human beings. We all the living beings born on this planet Earth, that is very important. The biosphere and the ecosystem existing on this planet Earth is important. we need to be geared up about the progress and development level behind the screen also, just not rather being getting consent signing in and everything will be happen in a magic. This is not the case. Or this is my perspective, and I am working side by side the free energy technologies also as being discussed with my sister, and had messages through the messenger last time that I have been working behind the scenes to the Nikola Tesla secret findings, and that they have been suppressed for so long also. So I'll be sharing that soon. And what I am noticing in our Indian context is few leaders that met the consent signings and that just leave it blank without knowing things, what are things going to happen. So this is uh, not the right approach to have the consent, means, or not knowing oneself what is going to be our future is also with a wrong perspective. Side by side wise, the right approach of having the education system, knowing our past lives is also very important. History is the future, so we are going to create history. So many advanced civilizations were already there and we have been suppressed, so we need to out of that matrix system and have the paradigm shift through the consciousness level. We have been discussing these things for so long. This is not an education, however, the wisdoms and the knowledge sharing is very, very important at this moment. Sooner or the other, there is no doubt we'll be seeing massive growth from the Indian context, and it is not a competition through the either through our lovely sisters over there in the Thailand or the Philippines. Our lovely sister Lori from the Philippines had done and her team had done a very, very marvelous and awesome job. We need to follow the right approach. They have been doing it, and I am expecting very soon a very Zoom call also. If possible, also I'll turn up over there in even in Thailand or in the Philippines after my visit hometown over there. Then I will be definitely going to the Philippines or Thailand to interact how they approach and how this massive number turns into a big number in a few months. That is very, very important. So the as been said several times, we are not doing any kind of the competition. This is important thing is the awakening of the souls from the tiredness, so much sleep they have. So we need to wake up many. We need to wake up many. Many are still sleeping and still having the perspective mindset in the earlier old system. They can't come out of that because their minds have been conditioned through the education system for so long decades, and even for the knowledge and wisdom that has been passed from the generations to generations through eons and eons. So it's very hard time for all of us. Besides this, no doubt, we don't have any doubt. We have a belief system, and the word fear also we have discussed earlier. There is no fear. I don't have any fear. I don't, and we should not have any fear also. What we were born not to be afraid. We have been made condition. If I do these things and that thing in that system, then I will be punished and all. So as being said by my brother Rick several couple of the minutes back also, what we are expecting or trying to acknowledge through our living process is not only for the independence or the freedom. So we are expecting the sovereignty is very important. So sovereignty has a superlative degree from the independence or the freedom. Those sovereign being sovereign is more important rather than the freedom or the independence. So we were, it's just a term only. However, the the degree or the what you say the superiority of the context of the using of the words was very important at this moment. So we'll be having the freedom for everything. So we can't be stopped by any by any evil forces. And sooner or later, I will have already sent out the message in the India group also. I'll be sharing so many PDFs. I have so many more than 10 terabytes of the PDF files, very important files uploaded in my cloud system also, and definitely I'll be sharing with all the whatever you just name it, any PDF, I'll just share that PDF also, no worries, starting from any agriculture, forestry, and advanced civilization, past civilization, anything. So the most important factor again here, we need to have a perspective mindset is what is beyond that Antarctic. That is very important. That lies history and wisdom is there. So with that being said, and as being said by my sister British also, uh, there is going to be a shortage of the food supply system. So it has been monitored. We have been seeing shortage of supply or the food system in different shopping malls or the grocery malls also. So they are targeting to that, and even for the children and the youth also they are going to target, because the tender mindset they can program easily. They have been targeting, and we need to be very cautious and stay safe and raise our vibes and all, so that we can proceed forward with our GPMS collectively, unifying ourselves as one light. We have been fragments of the light. We are just come out from the fragments of light. We are just unification, peace process, and love is highest frequency. Let us unite together. Let us have big hope. Let's have a belief system. Let's break out this fear system. We'll march it. We'll spread the message to the entire nations across the globe, to the unreached places. We'll spread out like anything, and we will create history together. Thank you so much for having me and for giving me a very short span of time to have my small wisdom to share to you, all of you lovely brothers and sisters. Thank you so much once again.
Pleasure, brother. And it's always great to hear. And you brought something up I'd like to continue slightly into, even though it may sound a little bit harsh. I feel it needs to be said by these ones that you brought up that maybe feel that if you've added your consent and you're saying when, why can't I have it now? You've completely misunderstood GPMS. GPMS is about everybody, not about you. It's about the whole, not about the individual. So when one's talked to, well, why can't we have it? Or why can't I have it? I've chosen it. They're negating their brothers and sisters who haven't yet received it. And they may be doing that from maybe a selfish place or a place of fear. And GPMS is all about the opposite of this. When talking to any other system that takes the value out of the individual and puts it into an external source, gold, any of it, money in the bank, how much are you worth? What? Have a look at my bank account. No, you're worth an unlimited and an infinite amount within. So any other system that is purporting to set up a new system or a new financial system or any of these ideas that allocates a value to you as opposed to you be the value is savage. So anybody wishes to go down those routes, it will fail and it will not work. It may be a temporary fix, but it is not a solution. There's a lot of temporary fixes being spoken about that are offering almost instant reward and gratification. These are deceptions. GPMS requires all. It's all inclusive. This isn't for 1, 2, 50, 5,000. This is for all. And those that maybe feel that they need it now, well, there's many more out there that maybe need it a lot more than you do right now, but they're not receiving the information because it's not being necessarily shared to them yet. But this is what's happening as we're seeing this ongoing now. We're seeing there is more necessity, there is more need, there is more belief in that that's bigger, there is less faith in that which is lesser. And this is what we're talking to as we move through this. So a kind reiteration to those that maybe feel that the GPMS isn't supplying them what they felt they were going to get when they joined, and more of a realization that this isn't about for the individual or about you or about any of us, it's about all. And that is why it's a vote. And when there's a collective decision made, i.e., however many of humanity choose it, then everybody will receive it, and that's the right time. And this is divine. So the faster, the quicker, the more efficiently we can share the information, the less fear and the lack of belief that is received, the quicker GPMS comes, and everything changes. In the interim, we're playing these games, which is ongoing, and to some it is very, very difficult. But none of this is difficult in the end. It's just seemed difficult in the moment. So I'd like to say that, put that in there, and open it up to anybody else who we wish to talk. No hands up. Pin drop. I like the pin drop moments. Over to you, brother. Let's see if you've got anything you can ramble about for a second, and we can then pick up and take on board.
Oh, thank you. Can you hear me on this one?
Yes, yes.
Uh, yeah. No, I loved what you said, again, with the ones coming out of the sphere and actually knowing, what they're morally obligated to do. And to let go of that selfishness and that survival tactic of selfishness, that looking after self. The only way to eradicate that root problem, what causes selfishness, is again the unity worldwide. So, having said this, ones need to be a little bit more broader with their sight instead of being nearsighted. But of course, this is part of the old fear mechanisms that doesn't allow them to see. Nevertheless, there's many divine occurrences and events set up worldwide so that after ones exhaust all of the fear tactics and avenues, that they come to the point of surrender and they see that there truly is one solution. So again, we can and we do educate to a degree, but again, we're still looking for all of those first that are in alignment with this. And every once in a while, we test the field with freedom movements and heads of freedom movements to see if they're able to see it. And again, to give it to them simply, a worldwide vote, the majority rules. And basically, if they don't get it, if they don't get GPMS with that, they're not ready yet. So don't waste a lot of time on it. And, with the competence and the non-confidence in the political arena, again, very quickly, when we look at this with perhaps 47,000 politicians worldwide supposedly representing the people, and again, I always take the number to GPMS. We're at 80,000 members. However, out of that 80,000 members, the guardians are still few yet, but are growing more and more each day. And these guardians of GPMS, like all of you that are here, you carry more weight yourself than the whole 47,000 political arena, and you carry more weight because you are backed with the absolute law. And I need to say, it is the superior law. It is what it is, and it is actual law. It's and when you look at the legal system, that is artificial man-made law, which is inferior. And it's inferior because, it inflicts harm upon humanity. So I need to say that there is no negotiation, no compromise to what GPMS is. And for these well-educated ones not to see how quickly this can be done. It's no excuse nor justification. You know, very simply, it's the two main things: a worldwide vote. The ability to create money is unlimited, and to share it equally. It's so simple. And, you know, again, with any of these educated ones, with the US being notorious at creating trillions of dollars of debt that is never owed to anyone, while the country flourishes, if you will, it shows worldwide, you know, as an example, that money is truly created out of thin air. So what we're doing is what's morally correct, was righteous, was prudent, and we're giving this ability to all of the people. So again, you know, it's simple, and there is no excuse, and there is ignorance is not bliss for any of these leaders or so-called speakers for the people worldwide not to endorse and embrace GPMS and go with it. There's absolutely no justification, no substantiation whatsoever, and they should not even be in any places of leadership or speakers for the people when they don't know the simple logic of a worldwide vote and freeing humanity and placing everyone in abundance. So it's, you know, blah, blah, blah. There I rambled, brother.
Beautiful rambling, brother. Beautiful. And I think many will concur. Self-proclaimed leaders are not by definition, especially those which limit what can be, whilst unlimiting what they receive generally. Not saying everybody, not saying all, and there are elements of truth inside of everything. So each is doing their jobs, each is doing their role, but the followers and the ones that are obfuscate underneath, let's say, their limitation. I was asked yesterday in the interview, what would I say to humanity? And one of them was always believe you're more than you think. And secondly, follow anybody you wish until you see limitation. And as soon as you see limitation, stop. And what with a lot of these things, everybody's having to wait for somebody else. Everybody's having to wait for another. Everybody's having to wait for another event. This is all limited by definition. They're not able to do anything themselves because everybody else is doing it for them, according to narratives, let's say. This is false. This is fake. This is causing limitation within the mind of what they can be. The truth to which you really are is unlimited. Yet so many limitations are placed in front of ones in their education, let's call it, or their continuation, prolonging the inevitable. Look for the limitation, see the limitation. As soon as you see it, release it. These ones that keep you hanging on a stick thinking that there's more to come, or next week, wait for next week's installment, we've got more information, more relevant, more credible information. Yeah, okay. For many, the time for that is over, isn't it? Isn't that being explored? And yet continues. This GPMS, what we are doing together in unity, not individually, not as a force, but as powerful, is unlimited. It opens everything up. Every option is available. All of the fear and rejection narratives are due to limitation, brought to the table as if they're real, and they are not. And this is what Rick was talking to there in negotiation. We won't negotiate to a limited, partially limited, fractionally limited state. No. By true definition and by natural definition and divine definition, it is unlimited and it shall be. And that's the divine proclamation, which is at the heart of GPMS. It is fully inclusive, it is unlimited, and it opens every option up for everyone, as opposed to limiting them all as the existing system has, and those would wish to maintain. So in all of this, without extrapolating too deep and trying to make it too philosophical, what Rick's just said is very, very simple. It's a vote. When we agree, we open it all up. Until we agree, we don't. And that's where we are. So it is that simple. And all of these, the ones that are fearing or bringing limitation to the table, Ask yourselves why. Where's it coming from? It's not from your heart. It's not from your divinity. It's from somewhere else, which is akin to selfishness at best. So that's what I say on that one for now, and leave it at that. And let's not go down that route too much more, as we're talking to those that are uniting and growing out of that limitation and seeing the abundance which is ahead. Thank you all again. So sorry, a little bit of a rant on top of a rant, brother. There you go. If anybody else would like to add to that or continue in their own vein, please do. More pin drops. Excellent. We can make this one just an hour then. At the moment, an hour meeting. This will be an unusual one. Any other topics we'd like to go down the route of?
Can you hear me, brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, one of the problems, and of course we have the solution, is you also have many of these leaders of movements that are out there. They're actually not educated in law and other necessary things. Now, this is not to degrade any of them, but we need to say that we are educated in law, the basis of law and law. And not only that, we are educated fully in finance, if you will. That is why GPMS is essentially possible. So we keep it simple. So when you have these ones out there carrying the problems, fighting against governments, you know, simply they just are not informed with enough of the information. So they're actually ill informed, but also because of their ego, at times they'll keep themselves separated from the simple solution. But I needed to bring this up because this panel is to at least some degree informed of absolute law. They are knowledgeable of it. We are knowledgeable of finance, and we know how it works. And again, GPMS would not be possible if that founding information was not here. It is, you know, there was great research both on the planet uh, and off planet that led to the great design of GPMS, if you will. And again, what I need to say is that ones need to adhere to what GPMS is and drop the foolishness where they're wasting all of the time and prolonging the inevitable, while every day, you know, more children die, more sirens go by with you know, ones becoming very sick. But what I need to say is that by raising the joy factor on the planet through GPMS, many of these ones that are dying now, they will make it because everything is energetics. And so I just wanted to put that in there. Anyone else?
No, sirens, brother. I sat for years. They were almost on call sirens to make everybody understand that there's emergencies all the time and there's important work being done to protect us all the time by these sirens. And it was a constant form of fun for I to go, okay, and just hear this as a sort of Pavlov's dogs indoctrination of the people. Sirens, 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 emergency, emergency, emergency. And we were blessed to be in Cambodia, where not only have I not heard a siren, not one, there's not been any of these streaks in the sky either, these things that are supposedly natural. None of them either here. I wonder why. Is it not worth it here for that to be imposed upon the people, as opposed to all the other places where it's prevalent? You know, these things that everybody thinks is normal in other places isn't normal, and these sirens and these emergencies and all of this rushing around and all in other places it's not. But people are ill-informed, like Rick said, not through their own ignorance. Well, some of it is, but just because they are ill-informed and believe themselves to be well-informed. And on receipt of more perspective or higher information, they reject it because of what pride. And this is what we're seeing is falling. The followers are not following they've still got lines, but these are crumbling. We've seen it over time, and we're seeing it more and more now. And it's being seen, it's being shown, and it simply must be believed. And the belief system that's held by many must simply change from complexity to simplicity, or from fear to benevolence, from selfishness to selflessness, and all of these things. We can talk about it like throwaway words, but it's what's actually existentially happening around the planet, and people are blind in certain areas because fear blinds. So it doesn't matter what ones bring to the table with limitation; it simply will not do. And GPMS, like as I agree with Brother Rick, must be accepted. The simplicity of divine law, the simplicity of equality, the simplicity of freedom and respect and valuing each unlimitedly must be adhered to for any kind of civilized society to exist. And yes, that means directly, this has not been civil, even though ones may feel that they are. It cannot by definition be when so many are going without, unseen, let's say. On a higher level, everything is seen. So we are witnessing this playing out, and we would forward the idea and the urgency that ones should put aside their differences and their separations and their divisions and their pride, and come to the table and have a little talk from a place of common ground, as opposed to trying to fight and prove you're right. Why don't you find where the middle ground is and try to understand others with empathy, as opposed to the opposite side of that? So this is what I'm talking to more and more, as it stands with the honor, with the morality, integrity, virtue, which each is owed and each owns, except at the moment it's been taken away from them, with their finances and their value being placed externally. This must come back. And each will rise in their own virtue, morality, and honor, and won't have to worry about things that were causing dis-ease prior. We are moving through this, brothers and sisters, all of us experiencing from different levels and seeing it and witnessing it and lifting or pulling the whole collective consciousness up. And it's all around this vehicle, GPMS. It creates the unity, but there's no pressure, there's no force, there's no dictatorial, arbitrary, mandatory rules. There is a simple understanding that each is equal and each is of infinite value and unlimited from birth. Bring the complication in, insert reasons why not here, you know. Okay, we've heard it all. We're not interested in that. Now we're interested in getting on board and moving forward and growing and constructing this as a unified being. Brother Pritam, over to you, my friend.
Well, brother. Right. As being said by our brother D and the brother Rick also, when we talk about this financial matter, it is not called finance, or we are getting the thin paper money or fiat currency exchange just to make an imprint on our mindset. This is money. The actual money is us. Money is energy. So we are the energy. So the only fear factor they are having is the collectiveness, or the our what we call the association of the general public. This is their fear factor. They don't want us to unite. So they can't stop us also in the unification process, in the progress and development of our GPMS family, because energy can never be created nor destroyed. It can be transferred from one form to other only. So we have been united, we have been uniting, and we will unite it as long as the total, the entire, what you call, as long as the under the firmament, what that is term, firmament, the God's creation beyond the firmament, Is it the right word, Brother Lee? We can't hear you.
Firmament. Perfect.
Firmament.
Firmament. Yep. Excellent.
Firmament. So as long as there is a engulfment of the energy in our planetary system, then nothing can break us. So we are the energy, we are the money, we are the abundance. GPMS is the vehicle, GPMS is inside us, GPMS is outside there. So there is nothing to worry. The only factor that is left now for them is to make a fear factor in the mindset of the general public. So in the last uh, 2 or 3 days back, there was a fear factor, the chaos that happened in one of the shopping malls in California or somewhere. The alien invasion. Oh, we are being invaded by the aliens, the fear factor. So this is the happening. They want to create fear. There is no other option than just to create the fear and have the same control mindset system so that we be kept in their slavery system, nothing else. So this won't happen at all. They want to create the fear factor, and only we need to raise our vibes. We need to have the consciousness level to the spiritual teachings and all, get connection to the higher self, then everything is going to be boom. That's it. We are energy. We are what you call that financial matter, the fiat currency, exchange, money, everything. What the term they call it? There's nothing at all. These are all virtual things. The reality is inside us. It should be come out from within and exposed to the outside. It's not like getting a perception of the knowledge from the outside world and process it. Not like that. It comes from, there should be a synchronization of the heart and the mind and the souls, and so that we can have that gut feeling, and will you can see everything once you open your third eye or the pituitary gland, or whatever term you may be. They have planned in such a way that our third eye should not be open. So that is the factor. It has become a crystal structure, and they want to open the truth behind what the things happening in this entire planet. So they want to be in a control. They want us to be in a control system. They want it that way. That's why. That is the only reason. That is the only reason. That is the only reason. That is the only reason I'm saying again and again. So we need to have that gut feeling, that kind of the wisdom and the knowledge, so that let us come out of this fear factor. Fear is the only factor. Fear is the only factor. I'm telling you again and again and again. They want to create this fear. Alien invasion, so many doctrine things, philosophies. Whoever says I am the God, when we last time I read out that one also, I am God means when we spell it in the reverse way, it is called dogma, excluding the I letter. DOGMA, dogma, dogma. I am God means dogma. So let us forget that belief system, whatever the system taught us earlier, forget it. Then let's move forward for the human civilization and for the rest of the other species too. Also, thank you so much for having me once again. Thank you so much.
Beautiful, brother. Rick, your hands up, my friend. Well, we just lost the camera at the same time, so maybe internet.
Suddenly this
You there, brother?
Brother, are you there?
Just disappeared at the same time. We'll give it a second. Is anybody else, Sister Lodi, have you got anything you'd like to add, or I don't want to put you on the spot? Our brother's back. Are you there, brother? Your hand up. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Can you hear me, Lee?
Yes.
Loud and clear, brother.
Yes, yeah. What I wish to say, you see noise about the EBS, Emergency Broadcasting System. So, what I brought up and I put in our contributors group the other day, GPMS is TBS, the Tranquility Broadcasting, if you will. And every time we put something out about GPMS, so it is a TBS instead of a EBS, if you will, and because of the fear connotations that surround the EBS, but it's more the aggression, what is behind the EBS, because it's let's say they're anticipating it coming from the military. Can you hear me well, Lee?
Yes, yes, keep going, brother. I'll let you know.
Yeah, and I'll put my video off. Yeah. So, what I suggest, just if it resonates with anyone, we are the TBS, assisting tranquility. I chose that. I looked for an antonym of emergency, and I found that was one of the best ones, because it's peace, if you will, and serenity. And this is what GPMS is, the harmonious, loving, peaceful solution. So I just put that out as if anyone wishes to use it, when you see the EBS, someone saying about it, and say, well, we have the TBS, which is the GPMS.world, which is the solution. And there is no need for violence and aggression with any military. It is just the simple assimilation of the uh, of GPMS.world and all of the people united as one, that just replaces all of the old aggression and war. In respect to what Brother Pritam was saying, about spreading fear about alien invasions and all of this, well, just to put it simple, if there was any malevolent off-world forces that could actually do anything to humanity, and if that was their intent, humanity would have been eradicated long before now. So for the simple reason everyone is still here, it shows that intent is not there and that they can't do it. And it's just again, a projection of fear. And it's also a setup, if you will, as Predum was saying, by the darkness, because what is going to happen in the near future is going to be the benevolent other being landings upon the planet that assist humanity, and again shows and brings even more technology. And so there's a wide, beautiful other world that opens as well with the implementation of GPMS, because what GPMS does, even before reaching the majority, it raises the vibration and frequency of the planet, that it and when this occurs, it takes us to the dimensional place, that there is more interaction with the other multi-dimensional beings, which includes benevolent ETs, if you will. So having said this, it's because of the great fear of the darkness of what they were, they make these schemes and fear paradigms up, but we know all of their tactics, and very soon all of humanity will know this.
Perfect, brother. We
So
don't
I'll
hear
stop there.
we don't hear too much about the benevolent. Well, there's not too much about the benevolent other entities in the indoctrination system. There's much more about the malevolent, which may or may not be a fiction. The other way around may or may not be a truth. It's one of these ideas, and as I say to people, you have a choice as to what you believe. You do not have to believe what you have been told. You can believe what you know to be true inside, rather than that which is externalized to you. But to do that, then you have to change your mind, and generally to change your mind requires a humbling. It requires an acceptance that one may have been wrong or fooled. Regardless, it makes no difference. Without that humbling and a change of mind, there is no acceptance. There is no self-acceptance and self-recognition or self-awareness. There is a continuation of self-righteousness. Self-righteousness is fear-based and is justified via stories of fear. Self-acceptance is pure, is open, is allowance, it's courage, it's courageous, it's powerful. Self-righteousness is very forceful and requires enforcement, which we can see all around the world is the way the system enforces its rules through terror, through fear and enforcement. It's not powerful, it's forceful. And that comes from a dark place. It comes from a place of lack. It comes from a place of limitation. So we can see this, and each is being offered and nudged and guided to stand in their power, negate the force. Nobody needs to force anything. Allow it powerfully, and that's through a higher intention of compassion, empathy, acceptance, love, peace, harmony, and all of these things. And it sounds like it's utopian, as we said many, many times, but it's just truth. And everybody knows it innately. It's what they wish for. It's the mind that takes over and throws the other narratives in. This GPMS and what we are doing and what we are bringing and what my divine comrades and representatives and all sorts of wonderful, wonderful beings here to do is to advise and guide and remove limitation, because it's not real. And that is what is fundamental to GPMS, is the opening up of the environment in which the human experience is undertaken, so that each can realize their true, unlimited, multidimensional, if you wish, nature. It's wonderful. It's beautiful, and it's occurring. It's on its way. It simply requires divine timing, I suppose, and the will for it. And this is what we are seeing grow, the will. So without going in, rambling much longer than that, I'll leave it at that. Hour and 10 we are so far. Has anybody else got anything they'd like to say? We can wrap it up or we can continue. I'm happy either way.
To add a supplement again to our sister Beatrice regarding the farming and all, the suppressed technology, and they are limiting the food supply worldwide. They are cutting off the food supply chain system, and they are monitoring too also. So to control us, they have been using the NPK or the fertilizers, not the organic one. NPK stands for nitrogen, phosphorus, and the potassium. So they are very hazardous and is a carcinogenic, causing cancer agents that have been in the food chain system seen for in the decades or centuries or in terms of the eons. So I am planning and had talked with the different several farmers group sections also to introduce the suppressed technology, the electro culture. We can use the copper wires and increase the development and the productivity of the farmers in a very organic way, rather than using the inorganic fertilizers and all. In this way also we can improve the quality and maintain the F1 generation 6 past filial generation 6 too also. So I've been working side by side along with the set-free technologies in a very organic way, so that we should live healthy. And that's it, brother. I'm having lots of research work, simultaneously working with the several farmer groups also to have this kind of the electroculture or the copper wares that we put in our farms, so that will increase the productivity level and enrich the nutrients and minerals in the food content also. So this is very important. And in terms of the water concept also, spring water is the best, or the alkaline water is the best, as been said. So I'm working to that level. We have several spring resource waters also. We need to find out then natural water, spring water, that should be the prime importance, because without water we can't do anything. Whatever we are drinking, the water is not that of the kind of the quality that should be required for our, it's just for existence only. but many heavy metals have been found in the several countries also I have seen, and I'm working to these projects side by side. Hopefully this will bring the wellness and the healthy of our GPMS family also. I'm working to land, air, water, and the free energies. This is my contribution side for the GPMS brothers simultaneously.
Perfect, brother. Just to add to before Brother Rick, what you were saying, the field technology, which is what you're talking to with copper wires, the field technology, the frequency, the growth of the plant is enabled as well, enhanced as well if prior to planting these seeds, assuming they are not GMO, they are soaked in or held above a south-facing magnet. An hour, that's enough. That will harmonize the frequency within the seed, and the seed will go in structured. Just a south pole, just sit it in a tray, whatever, and a magnet overnight, and then plant them. It changes the, it harmonizes and calibrates the frequency of the seed, negating the existing frequencies. What you're talking to there with the water is the same thing. The water from the ground has come through the aquifers, which have been harmonized. They have quality. Not the quantity of the debris, but the quality of the field spin, the energetic content. And the copper wires you will see as you go through and more information comes in, a small area, small antenna into the ground will harmonize the frequencies in that area. It doesn't need wires all over the place and all this electroculture stuff. It's a lot simpler than that, but there's a misinformation or misunderstanding at this point as to how it all works. So there's some complication ones are going through in proof of concept, but people understand that it does work. They're just trying to work out how. GPMS brings all of that information into one and gives it all open source to everybody. So there's no seeking of information and hoarding of information. There's a sharing of it, benevolence, and the freeing of ones to do the best and the most benevolent things for it all, as opposed to profit and loss and greed and all of the other things that are within it. So beautiful, brother, that you're going down those routes and opening up this field harmonic technology, magnetisms, even if they're not necessarily understood inside the electroculture and the permacultures and the different things that have been talked about, they will have a huge impact upon the growth of food and the holistic nature to which it's grown, the natural product, which is of much more benefit to the human vessel as we move forward. All of this is very, very, very underway, let's say, with the operations of some things like what you're talking to there, brother. Thank you so much. Over to you, brother Rick. You got your hand up.
Yeah, thank you. Lee, I just wondered if you wish to, I don't think we were recording, but I just wondered if you wish to just lightly elaborate on some some freedom group prospect or potential. You've been in a couple, at least a couple calls to that respect. Without naming anyone, but I just wondered if you wish to share perhaps some potential or prospect in respect to that. Thank you.
I don't know if it was recording. There's been two, or one's approached us and one's we're approaching them, but there's two that have come to the door from the UK, international and other ones that are, again, I won't give names, but I have there's a meeting arranged with the one week on Wednesday to open that one up, and the other one is being broached to see whether they're open up too. So this is Team UK, realistically, more around the growth of the UK team and really reasonably what we should be seeing and what we are seeing as the dark ones show themselves. We should be seeing more unity of the light ones, and what we are seeing now is the opportunities and the growth and the impetus and urgency, excitement almost, to which some, not many yet, but that's inevitable, are now standing up and wanting to unite and wanting to collaborate and wanting to think about things. It's more vehemently. So what we're seeing is on the other side, the attack or the dark ones trying to hide themselves, trying to deceive, trying to keep themselves going. On the other side, we're seeing a rise and a unity growing, which is inevitable. So I'm looking at the UK team and the alignment of these freedom networks at the moment, as well as doctors, as well as other ones that are in the areas, as a offset to the dark narratives that are being thrown in from the other side. And these two are aligning. As one shows themselves more grow this side in not opposition, but as one's move down the dark route, others go up the benevolent route, if you will. So it's almost like that. They want to take people down here, but people are joining up there. And the more that they wish to pull down, the more that will unite going up in a physics and harmonic kind of way. So I'm looking at it like that. Sorry, you did ask for a quick overview of it. It's work in progress, let's say.
Yeah. You know what I wish to simply say, the actual darkness upon the planet in number are less than 1 million. The people, if you will, are, let's say, I like to say 6 billion. Yeah. So, I mean, if you look at those numbers, the darkness less than 1 million and 6 billion people, again, it's all over for the darkness. All the people need to do is to unite, and that's what we're doing. Yeah. So it's great to see, you know, some of these prospects coming. And with one that Lee was mentioning about, I had seen it also putting its footprint in Canada as well. So it's I believe it has the international label right now, which is great. It's not just UK based. And you know what we're finding and seeing is that in actuality there are so many groups out there that are aligned for GPMS with the same goals, if you will. And it's again just bringing them all together under the one umbrella, and we're huge, we're invincible. So thank you for that.
One of them was, it looks like December the 23rd last year that they started it, and it's very much aligned to GPMS, but it started it's got a lot of the words that GPMS would use, but it's also got corporate in it and subscriptions in it. So it'd be very interesting to see whether or not they wish to maintain the corporate subscription base or the unlimited base of GPMS when they receive the information of GPMS. And this will affiliate them, bring them on board, or send them spiraling into a dead end. And you know, this is what we have seen, this is what we've used to, and this is no negation or wishing harm upon them. It's just if you're purporting to be one thing, but then you've got fear or other things that are involved in that, then at your basis is an intention of selfishness. It's small, it's benevolent, there's a big outcome, it's beautiful, all of the work that you're doing is excellent, but don't hold on to the limitation within it. Release it and realize that there is bigger, and that's where the global unity comes in, rather than one's thinking they can do it all from that basis. Consider the larger picture which GPMS offers and where that fits in. It doesn't negate it, it makes it a beautiful cog, it makes it a beautiful part of the system, but it doesn't make it standalone. These are unified. All of these ones must come together and stop thinking that they all have a solution when it's all together. The whole has the solution. And that's what we are talking about here.
Yeah, absolutely. With what Brother Pritam said, you know, about the finance, what I had mentioned, and we know we don't need it, but again, we need to use these quick bridging methods that others will recognize, so we get them up you know, and up to the higher consciousness and into the unlimited arena. And again, very quickly after the implementation of GPMS, once we have the majority voice, I envision within 12 months after the implementation that humanity is not using money at all because it's not needed. But, you know, very quickly, we need to use some of these terms that still the majority of the people identify with. So in this case, you know, with the finance, we use that. They do pay attention when we show them there is another way to finance, which is above what they're doing yet, which leads to no finance at all in the future. So upstepping them, you know, we are the super consciousness as well. So humanity is evolving into that. And that's why there is no negotiation. There is no competition with what super consciousness is, meaning that none of the political arena as well can compete with what GPMS is. It's all inclusive and it's from the higher consciousness. But we're bringing it right into the material world right now to advance humanity forward. What Lee touched on, you know, with a lot of these groups, and when we look at GPMS has functioned on very little money, if you will, because we didn't need it and we don't wish to do that. And, you know, over the course of about 3 years, we've only required perhaps 2,000 equivalent US dollars, and we still have um, an equivalent of 500 Canadian still in the bank, if you will, well, in an account, but meaning that, you know, we're not, it's not about the money for to keep us going. It's all of us greatly volunteering to do what is correct. But getting back to what Lee said about, you know, some of these international groups, what they wish to do is to finance, you know, a bit so they can get their material out there and use the promotional and marketing tools and tactics. And what GPMS wish to do is, no, we stay away from that, if you will, for the most degree, because in the beginning also we're looking for those that are in alignment, that knows GPMS. So we don't want to beat anyone over the head. We're forming this base of ones that know what it is from their heart, that they don't need to be persuaded and let's say persuaded by marketing tactics, if you will, just to keep it simple. So, you know, again, and with these ones, they are doing their best and to the best of their ability um, to garner attention. And again, you know, one of the old lower consciousness imprints is that many think for anything to be valuable, they got to pay for it. So when you have these things, oh, you got to subscribe to get this information, you know, then they'll think it's more valuable. It's part of the old mentality, which is being broken down. So they utilize these mental schemes to that effect without knowing the full yet, but it's part of the transitioning. But with that, blah, 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 I'm done for today. This one, I think.
One of the most important things there you said was about how the ones that are involved to any degree that have stood into their authority and their divinity at this point cannot be bought, cannot be manipulated, cannot be sidetracked by selfishness or personal interest. That's the foundational core, scalar energetic intention, the purity to which GPMS is created, and it's the purity to which it will be maintained. So it works. It may have been tedious, it may have felt strange on the way, but I see its function, I see its necessity almost, especially in this environment, for that to have happened, so that it's not looping, it's not manipulable, it can't be bought, it can't be deceived, it's clear and transparent, it's truthful and open, it's all of these good things. And it's because of the way it was done, the organic nature, the stubbornness, the will, the stoic nature to which each has carried themselves, the honor, the value each has given to themselves intrinsically, that has created this movement from this beginning point onwards. And this has a huge magnetic effect, as well as a repulsive effect on those that would wish to deceive or to benefit personally above others, or to control. That's just, it can't be, and we all know that. And therefore you can see from the base up, it doesn't matter. This is the way it's built, and this is the way it will be. This is the way it was created. This is the way it was ordained. And so, yeah, in that looking at what's being developed and what's being grown here, there has been no negotiation. There has been none. It's been maintained, and many would, or some may say that it's been maintained, and that slowed it down. No, it's kept it absolutely where it needed to be, and it's ready now for all and any to come in, because there's nothing they can do to take it down. It goes forward and increases, and so those that reject, they reject because they would bring in limitation. They're not ready yet. Those who don't reject and those who embrace it fully are ready to unlimit. Beautiful. And each will walk their own path. So I thank you all so much. I'm so grateful for all that are doing the work and all that are sharing, regardless as to the societal issues and personal sufferings or hardships that one may undertaking. It's got such a bigger meaning, and the energetic value of that is such an amplification of the benefit of the purity to which this has been built upon. So much gratitude and much love to all involved and all that's heard of it. It doesn't matter who, to all, and divinely this is all being assigned and allocated and aligned, and we keep going, and we got this. Thank you. Is anybody rant and stop ranting? Is there anybody else? B, yeah, over to you.
Just to remember to the people that today we have GPMS.world meeting, North America meeting, 4 p.m. Toronto time, EST. Thank you.
And also to anybody else, well, I don't know if they'll see it prior to this, but just to put it out there in this video, we have, I believe, Dean, the first UK team meeting today. Is that at 4 p.m.?
That's correct. Yeah, we've got the first UK meeting, UK and Ireland. That's starting at 4 p.m. UK time. Yeah, so that's 11 o'clock my time.
Yeah. I think this will probably go out a bit late for that, but anybody that wishes to see it, this is the first UK GPMS team meeting, which is now going to be held as well, and they're going to be run methodically and inviting others to come in, talk and openly discuss and collaborate things from the UK too, which is beautiful to see on top of our North America meetings and these Europe and East meetings. So more and more growth, and more unity and more collaboration, and more dark fear narratives being pushed in as there's more growth. So yeah, excellent.
Yeah, Rick, on that other note of the people coming in from the freedom areas, me and Den are going to sit down and have a conversation about this tonight beforehand, because Lee's just informed me of it. So we'll have a conversation and see how we can handle this one.
Dean, how long from now is the UK meeting? How many hours?
2
hours. Okay, so that'd be 6 p.m. my time. Yeah, and we have the Yeah, all right. I may drop in. That's why I was curious. But also with Pritam, with Brother Pritam in Thailand, I think, and the Philippines. Also, did I hear Pritam say that perhaps they'll be having a similar Zoom meetings as well? Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, I believe so, Brother Pritam.
Yes, last time also we had discussed this about having a Zoom call session, and I could not participate, and I missed the call that had my sister Mariana was also there. I just dropped one of the comments of that beautiful meeting it had, that a compensation something whatever we are doing. Everybody has a mindset of getting compensation out of that program. Rule out everything. So exciting broadcast it happened, and Sister Beatrice also. Hopefully, I may hop in for the tonight's meeting. Maybe late in the Indian time, but maybe 2:30 a.m. However, no doubt for me. There is no timing and all. I can wake up at any time. I can sleep any time. No problem for me. So
Beautiful.
hopefully I may jump on the board on the call of the US.
The alignment, I believe, will happen between Philippines and India, and possibly other ones for collaboration, for discussion, and I trust they'll be recorded and they will be allocated to the YouTube so that others can see the openness and the transparency to which we are growing this. So all of these meetings and everything else adds up, and all of that goes online, so that everything is there and open. We can see what we've done, we can see the growth, and we can witness the truth that's been brought and held through the whole process, unlike some other systems which we could mention at this time.
last one or two few words again. I would like to have this kind of the video recordings. I had words with our brother Lee and brother Rick also regarding this. I will be like downloading those videos, and I have all this set up one YouTube channel, also GPMS.world channel. So I would like to use these videos also in that channel also, but there's no any kind of privacy or the what kind of what is use the term that one.
Brother, let me explain something about the YouTube channel, the Global People's Monetary System YouTube channel that we've got currently. There are many videos on there that are unlisted, not available to public view. They're there stored, but they're not necessarily available. They were available, and some of them were not, but they are meetings in the background. If you wish, just let me know, and you can get and see them all. And you can take whichever ones you wish from them all. They're all available. It's just that we've kept it more streamlined for the public view, so that it keeps moving it forward rather than the continuation of some of the meetings that we've had in the background. And some of the older ones have been unlisted, so all they do is you can't see them here, but they are there. If you wish, let me know, and we'll get you in there so you can access them all and see which one you wish.
I'll be using only the list have been listed to the public, that one only, brother.
Only the listed ones. Well, there's many that aren't. There's many that have been removed. And Team India ones.
I want to broadcast it so that it can. If we have several channels, then if we broadcast in that way, then it will reach to the masses of the people. That is my perspective. I'm not thinking about doing having those kinds of the monetization. No, nothing. Whatever it comes, if it comes as monetization in terms of level, also everything that comes, that will be for the GPMS, for our for the expenses, for everything.
I wasn't thinking about monetization or that. What I was thinking about is you getting access to the full videos. If you wish to add them to other channels and move them across and add these things, then you may as well have a look at them all and take which ones you wish, as opposed to the ones that are currently listed. If you want, I don't know how many aren't, but a lot of for instance, a lot of the team videos from Thailand, I think there were 32. I don't think any are listed publicly, but they are all listed in a playlist. So if you were looking down there, you wouldn't necessarily see 32 videos. But if you click on the playlists, you'll see Team Thailand, and in there is 32 videos. of meetings. So there's a lot more necessarily for ones, if they wish to look through the YouTube site to see that there's a lot more been going on than maybe shows up. But up to you, brother. You work with what you've got and just let I know if you need any assistance.
Yeah, may I? Yeah, you know, it's important with all the information that is out there and all the clutter again. I suggest to refresh that we need to get, you know, just one concrete summary video that can be shared. So then we just have the one with the information and a simple summary of GPMS and so the one generic one and just constantly put that one out, if you will, as an attraction feature again.
On that note,
Because you know,
Rick,
again, also it's yeah,
yeah, sorry, yeah, I didn't realize you were going to carry on there.
go ahead.
On that note, Rick, I've already started to strip down some of the videos, and I'm trying and put it into writing for that reason, so we can create a video.
Yeah, and also, you know, what I suggest is Beatrice, I think, and Mariana has been doing it, and others, just taking the important clips out of our meetings and just making the short 5 or 10 minute YouTube or what have you, just with the important points. Excuse me, is more effective. So, you know, instead of giving them meeting after meeting and all of this, no one wishes to wade through a whole lot of clutter. So, uh, the least amount that we're putting out there and right to the point, the more effective and gives a concrete solution.
I love you,
Information.
brother. I love the we just need one generic video and put it out there for everybody. I love that. I'm still struggling with it myself, but I love it. I love it. I love the concept, and one day we'll get there, I'm sure. Let's see, and let's work towards that.
Yes, yes, brother. We can take the summarization of the of the videos from the uploaded or that have been made public. We can use the AI system, and it's very easy. Also, we can sum up all those videos, important videos. We can summarize using the AI technologies, and it's very easy, brother.
Well,
Hopefully,
if it's that easy, I'd like to say, if it's that easy, why hasn't it been done?
I will be trying my best level to put out a very
That's not pressure on you, brother. It's inevitable that this will happen. I agree. And in the when it happens, excellent. And I agree with you about the way it will be done. Pretty much, yes. So all good.
there will be a contribution, and there will be a gratitude to have the have to put the kind of generalized or the selective videos in one video and broadcast in so that it can circulate in the different channels. That will be very meaningful for all of us. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, we're getting closer to the end to wrap this up. So if we could just sort of wind it down a little bit. If anybody final points or anything they would like to add, now would be a perfect time to jump in.
Hello, everybody. I just want to tell everybody, Sister Lodi, that we did with Sister Lodi a GPMS Philippines meeting last Monday, that it was the 8th of June, and the next is going to be on Monday, February the 5th. And also with Sister Yolanda, we did another, the second like official GPMS in Spanish. We also have a channel, and all that information is shared in contributors. So if you have any Spanish speaking people, those are the links. So we start putting all the Spanish in just one, and then we can go like from there to the countries when we have enough people to be adequate to do that. or give them my contact also if they want to know more and it's better to have it in Spanish. I'm always available for that. So just that, and wishing you everybody to have a great week.
Excellent. Excellent. Multi-language, multilingual. Perfect. We're looking around and I'm not seeing anybody else's hands up. Is there anybody who would like to say anything else, or shall we bring this one to an end now?
I'd like to say something. I believe, yeah, it's time to bring it to an end, and yeah, great meeting. And with that, love, light, and gratitude to everyone.
Thank you all so much. Next one next week, 21st, I believe it's the 14th today. We'll keep these going for now, so that'll be scheduled in the week and the link posted. It's wonderful. Thank you all so much. Love to you all.
Love, light, and gratitude, guys. Take care.
Take care.